Hello everybody and welcome to week 6 of the Regal Draft League. Now, as some of you may know, I was competing at the Liverpool Regional Championships this weekend. So, sorry, not sorry. This video, probably a little bit of a step back from previous weeks. But I didn't want to leave it out and I didn't want to lose any prep time for the regional. As soon as I'm caught up on league matters, I will absolutely be putting a video out on my regionals run, including a team report rental. So keep an eye out for that one. Shameless future content plug and non-apology out of the way. Let's take a look at this week's matchups. The New York Latios look to continue the bounce back from that week 3 loss to the Doggies, visiting Texas to face the East Austin Archeops. That, though still without a win, have been improving week on week and are surely due an upset victory. Could this be the week? Could they pull off the biggest upset of the season? The Philadelphia Politoeds trek to the frozen north to face the Alaskan Articunos. Both teams coming off their first wins of the season and having a renewed sense of confidence. Will the consistency and stability of the Politoeds give Coach Chris an advantage over Tommy's refreshed but somewhat familiar Articunos? The Welsh Woobats looking to bounce back from last week's shocking display versus the Articunos take on the blazing Brelooms, who are somehow still without a win. That does not make any sense. But this is the world we're living in. Will this be the week, or will the Woobats take out last week's frustration on the Brelooms? Prismatic Shards, what is left to say about this team? Well, I guess we should start praising Weens and the incredible team building. I don't actually think I've pointed out how good that has been enough to be winning this consistently with a squad that looked good pre-season but didn't immediately jump out as broken is just so impressive. This week's potential victim is our tyrannical chairman Otter. Will Otter, as he has been so many times in the past, be that hurdle that turns contender into pretender? Or will Weens stick it to the man on behalf of everyone? Unfortunately, the Ohio City Doggies versus the Albuquerque Appleton was postponed for reasons that are yet to be revealed. Rumour has been running wild that the Doggies mascot ate its Appleton counterpart, but we can neither confirm or deny this. We will, of course, bring you the facts as soon as we know them. Now, let's jump straight into the battles. Starting with the result of our only non-replay match. As always, of course, there is a full video of the Woobats match versus the Brelooms on the channel, so another shameless plug, go check that out. Link is in the description below. The East Austin Archeops versus the New York Latios, and unfortunately for Chal, TCL's experience and the crazy power of that Latios squad won out. Taking what appears to have been a very balanced, methodical approach, TCL squad took the match 2-0. Contrary Laurantis takes the plaudits with 3 KOs, but the duo of Zapdos and Ursaluna taking a pair apiece, and a Alolan Persian popping up with what is its first strike of the season. Chal didn't go down without a fight though, picking up 2 KOs of his own, continuing that week on week improvement. Right, let's have a look at these two teams. That's a pretty risky team on Chris's side. I'm seeing a lot of things weak to Palafin and a lot of things weak to Iron Treads. But to be honest, those two were always going to be toughest to game plan around. You can keep Ogerpon alive. That should nullify a lot of what Palafin brings, and be able to hit Palafin for super effective damage. Gliscor's actually looking really good here. Gliscor's good into Tauros, it's good into Treads, it's good into Moth. I'm just not sure where the Gholdengo Chi-Yu fits, and I think that's part of the problem Chris has had all season long. Gholdengo Chi-Yu is very, very strong, but if you can find a way around it, you've essentially nullified half of what Chris's team's going to do offensively. On the Articunos side, I do think that Jugulus is going to be pretty key. It's going to enable their speed control, and with Air Slash, it's going to be able to get that Ogerpon out of the way, freeing up the Palafin. That's going to be the big task for Tommy, is getting rid of that Ogerpon. The Ogerpon gone, their three biggest threats are almost free to do what they want. It's going to be a really interesting positional battle, actually, because Chris needs to keep that Ogerpon safe, but Tommy needs to make sure he's got the pieces in place ready for when it hits the field to be able to push the pace towards the end game. Here we go, game one. Gholdengo Chi-Yu lead for the Politoeds. Jugulus and Palafin lead for the Articunos. Now, I don't think Tommy needs to get up speed control immediately. So, depending on that Jugulus set, he can leave it there. Now, of course, this is the main problem with running Palafin, is that you do have to switch it out straight away. So if you're facing down the Palafin, you know that slot is going to switch. 9 times out of 10. There is the switch. In comes the Tauros. Intimidate, not doing anything versus the 2 special attackers. Terror immediately from Chris. Going to be the Gholdengo into Terra Fairy, nullifying the potential dark type damage coming from the Iron Jugulars. Protect on the Chi-Yu. Now, going to reduce the damage of whatever this Gholdengo is about to do. It is a dazzling gleam. Gonna hurt. Oh, immediate knockout on the Tauros. Almost takes out the Iron Jugulars. Heroic Palafin comes in. Hopefully save the day. Chi-Yu switches out. Ogerpon incoming. Gholdengo switches out. Now that's a kind of crazy double swap. Out comes the Iron Hands. Snarl not really doing much to these two physical attackers, but perfectly predicting the hit into PU, gets healed right back up. Now with the potential fake out pressure coming, you imagine this is a double protect from Tommy. There's one protect. There's the other. Now, is Chris reading this and going to go for a swords dance on the hands? No, he just went straight for the wild charge into the Palafin. Bit of a dilemma here for Tommy, because if he Terror Dragons on his Palafin, it makes him weak to the Goldango in the back, but protects him from both of these physical attackers in front of him. There's the Horn Leech. Because of that Terror Dragon not doing anything, Air Slash doesn't quite do enough to the Ogerpon. Bulk up, getting that attack up, getting that defense up. Drain Punch finishes off the Iron Jugulars. Very good play by Chris there. Here comes the Iron Moth. Booster into special attack. And right now, fire damage is neutral into that Ogerpon. Can't Terror into pure water. I have to imagine a heat wave from that moth will be enough to finish the job if it hits. Iron Hand switches out into Chi-Yu. Spiky shield from the Ogerpon. Flamethrower into that protect. Where's Palafin attacking? Rain Punch into the Chi-Yu. Is that a Sash Chi-Yu? It is a Sash Chi-Yu. Ogerpon switches out. Back into the Iron Hands. But he's setting that fake out. A Psychic! Nice tech! Flamethrower though, going to finish that Chi-Yu off. Drain Punch, not doing a great deal to that Iron Hands. It is incredibly physically bulky. Now, is this going to be the Goldango, or is this going to be the Ogerpon? It is the Goldango. Almost at full health, so you have to imagine it's going to live. Poison move from this Iron Moth. But Tommy's gonna probably have to double up on it to get rid of it. Oh, he goes for the protect on the Palafin. Fake out quite rightly going into that moth. Dazzling Gleam from the Goldangos. Probably finishing the moth off. No, it lives on 4. That is such a clutch live. Now, is Palafin designed to outspeed this Goldengo? Going to be the big question here. We know that Moth is fast. Is the Moth going to be able to get... Oh, he switches. Ogerpon coming back out. Now, is it going to live this Venoshock? It doesn't. Wave Crash into the Iron Hands. It's just going... Yeah. Oh. If only he hadn't switched. Maybe he knows that that Goldengo... wasn't going to outspeed the Palafin. There's the Venoshock. Oh, that does a surprising amount of damage. Okay, I take it back. There's a lot more damage than I was expecting. Really, it was that clutch 4 HP live. Not the switch by Chris that won that battle. Incredibly close battle. Chris actually played that very well. He did exactly what he needed to do, trying to position that Ogerpon in front of the Palafin. He was just undone by the Iron Moth being that little bit more bulky than expected. Yeah, I don't think I'd change anything on either side. Game 2. Can Chris pull this one out of the bag? Force a game 3. Can you switch up on the lead? Iron Hand and Goldengo, but exactly the same from Tommy. Which, as a Palafin player, you kind of expect. Palafin does switch into the Moth, resisting that potential dazzling gleam from the Goldengo. Terror coming out from the Articunos. Gonna be the Jugulus this time. Terror Poison. Terror from the Politoeds. Gonna be the Goldengo again? Yes, it is. Tommy called it right. 2 poison types. Front of that Fairy Dengo. Now drops the special attack. Dazzling Gleam gonna do even less now. Yep. Brain Punch into the Moth. Gets a little bit of HP back. Now we saw how much Venoshock did to that Goldengo in game 1. Chris cannot leave it in. Yep. There's the switch. Frostlass. Okay. There's a Snarl. Oh my. It's ridiculous damage. Flamethrower. Oh, into the Frostlass swap. Oh. Well charged. Not quite enough. Oh, that's such a bad turn for Chris. Ogerpon comes out. It's not going to outspeed the Moth, so it's going to take a lot of damage here. Moth switches out. Interesting. Into the Tauros, getting him to intimidate down on the 2 physical attackers. That's actually a very good play. Iron Hand switches. The Goldengo is going to be coming back out here. I'm guessing it was specs and locked into Dazzling Gleam. Air Slash going into the Protect on the Ogerpon. But both got their switches in safely. Ogerpon switches out. And Hand's coming back in. Air Slash takes that really well. Raging Bull coming out. Again, takes that surprisingly well, considering that was a Life Orb hit. Power Gem. Into the Jugulus. Not enough. That Jugulus is a real menace. Now we do have the fake out pressure here. Is Tommy going to go on the offense or is he going to double protect? Goldengo switches again to the Ogerpon, using the fake out pressure to get the Ogerpon back on the field. There's protect number 1. Are we going to see a protect number 2? Yes, we are. Chris once again safely getting that Ogerpon onto the field, able to change up the move on his Goldengo. Really not let that Frostlass going down affect him at all here, really. Played this very well. Up goes the Iron Hand. In comes the Goldengo again. Spiky Shield from the Ogerpon. Air Slash, yep, into that Ogerpon slot. Where is the Bull going? High horsepower into the Goldengo. Oh, it's a crit. Follow me from the Ogerpon. Sacrificing himself for his teammate. Oh, he gets the Air Slash miss. The follow-up, an unlucky turn with a really brilliantly lucky turn. I think we saw this Oko out of Tauros game 1. That's an incredible amount of damage. The resisting Iron Jugulus. Now one follow me and this should put Chris into a really nice spot. Yep, there's that follow me. Air Slash. Not enough to KO. That's great. Heat Wave. Now will this connect on the Goldengo? No, it doesn't. Finishes off the Ogerpon. Now Dazzling Gleam. Is it going to be enough? It is. What a game 2 this is turning out to be. We have a full health Palafin versus Goldengo and Iron Hands. Now will Tommy go for a cheeky bulk up here? Very risky play. Goes for the safe and perhaps correct option of protect. Blocks that fake out. Know that Goldengo's locked into Dazzling Gleam. Wave Crash. Palafin is the fastest thing on the field. Down goes the Iron Hands. Wasn't a great deal of damage necessary, so not a great deal of recoil. Dazzling Gleam though. Oh, that's a lot of damage. You have to imagine this wave crash is going to be enough though. Yeah. What a match. That was absolutely incredible from both players. Commiserations to Chris there. He played both games so very, very well. In the end though, that damn dolphin takes it home for Tommy. Skeledirge versus Piss. Number 1 versus number 2 in the league. Who will win the battle supremacy? Now, Otter can't take over top spot with a victory, but it will certainly put him in a great position for the rest of the season. 2 games left after this. If Otter can win out, somebody else can take, and somebody else can knock off Weens and the Piss, we could end up with the chairman back on the throne. And let's be honest, no one really wants that. But at the same time, no one really wants an undefeated team through the regular season. So pick your poison, folks. We're probably going to have to go with the lesser of 2 evils. Let's have a little look-see at these 2 teams. On the Dirge side, what we've become accustomed to seeing, other than that new signing Mamoswine, which isn't looking too hot in this matchup. To be honest, not a lot is. Heatran got into Bronzong, got into Sinister, gets bodied by the Inteleon and the Raging Bull. Zapdos, depending on what coverage it's running, pretty much only good into that Sinister. The Fairies, good neutral damage. Have to avoid that Bronzong a little bit. Have to be careful into that Monkey Dory. I think the key here is going to be that Roaring Moon. Has Otter flipped the script? Is the bird running Tailwind and the dragon on offense this week? That would seem to be his best play. For Weens, the double water is a bit of a tough bring. There's nothing really that hits them particularly hard, but they only really go well into the Heatran. I mean, we saw what that Snipe Shot Scope Lens Inteleon could do, even into resisted targets. So that, yeah, that's just good into everything. But it does have the look of a Trick Room team. Dinosaur Brian is not the fastest. It hits incredibly hard and is going to hit a lot of what Otter's brought very hard. So if that's your win con, then you're going to have to get the Trick Room up. But that doesn't really help Inteleon. So it's hard to read minds. So I think let's just get into the battle and see what they're working with. Game 1, the super important clash. What have we got? We have the Roaring Moon and Heatran facing down Inteleon and Monkey Dory. Frisk is so good in draft. Boosts the speed on the Roaring Moon. They're coming out from Otter. To the Heatran. They're a bug. Looking to avoid those snipe shots. Protect on the Roaring Moon. That's not what I was expecting. But the fake out does go there. Heatran obviously cannot be fake out. We did see the Covert Cloak. Substitute. Oh. Hit the Monkey Dory with the Heat Wave. Substitute. Baited. Oh. Terra from Weens. Inteleon putting a fairy hat on. Look at that pretty heart on his head. Rope Chop. Not very effective. Terra Blast coming out. Gonna be into the moon. 4 times super effective. Bye bye Fake Sally. Sludge Bomb from the Monkey Dory into the Heatran. Some respectable damage. Monkey Dory avoids the Heat Wave and it takes out the Inteleon. No longer resisted. Out comes Brian's prehistoric brother. The Zapdos. We should attack on Brian. Bones protects itself. U-turn. Finishes off the Monkey Dory. Bird flies away. Bean. Oh, we've got the Mammo. Water Bull comes out. Oblivious Green Bean does not have its stats lowered. Tough spot for Weens now. Wave Crash from the Bull. Deletes the Mamoswine. I always forget how strong those bulls are. Stonehead connects. Removes Goopy. What a turnaround from Weens. I do not think there is a great deal that Zapdos can do here. Double Protect from Weens. Scout out what it locks into. We are assuming it's Choice Scarf. It went for the close combat into Brian. It lands the close combat. It takes out the Brian. Its defenses are now dropped. Wave Crash from the Bull. Oh, it's a one-hit KO. Game 1 goes to the piss. Game 2. Cannot make a comeback. We have the same lead. Goopy and Gra. Dinistia and Tauros for Weens. Gets the Intimidate down on that Roaring Moon, making it even more mid as it boosts its speed. Terror coming out from Otter. Into the Heatran again. Sprout some antennae. Protect again on the Roaring Moon. Protect on the Bull. Heat Wave. Does connect on the Sinistcha. Takes it down to half. Strengths up into the protected Roaring Moon. Doesn't get its health back. Sinistcha switches out. In comes Big Brian. Tailwind from Roaring Moon. Heatwave from the now faster Heatran doesn't do a great deal. Wave Crash. Just around about half. Recoil takes the weird dog down to about half. We're in a fairly even Steven spot here, but Otter does have the speed control. Roaring Mid leaves the field. Out comes Zapdos. Brian Thorns leaves the field. Out comes Bronzong. Protect from the Heatran. Double protect attempt from the Bull. Weird Dog goes. Out comes the Teacup. From the Piss onto Bronzong into the Poison typing, removing its fire weakness. Not a huge amount Heatran can do to it now. Knock off. Takes away the leftovers. Heat Wave doesn't take out the Sinistcha, and Bronzong twists the dimensions. Roaring Moon comes back out onto the field. Heatran protects. Scouting out what Weems is going to do. Heavy Slam into that protect. Strength Sap into the Roaring Moon. That was a dangerous thing to do into the Zapdos slot. But almost back to full health on the Sinistcha. Roaring Moon goes. Back comes Zapdos. Playing around these Trick Room turns pretty well. That Heavy Slam does next to nothing. Strength Sap into that Zapdos. Rocking the Defiant. That was always going to be a very dangerous move. Oh, Heatwave gets the burn. Zapdos switches. And again we get the Roaring Moon on the field. Skill swap. That was a great switch by Otter there. Heatwave double connects again. Takes out the Bronzong, which, to be fair, was a bit of a liability right now. Burn is chipping away at that Sinistcha. It's going to have to keep strength sapping to keep itself up if they want to reset the Trick Room. Protect from the Heatran. Rage Powder on Sinister. Stone Edge. Misses. Tailwind goes back up. As the Trick Room expires. Finisher leaves the field. Ball's going to come back out. Intimidate down. Roaring Moon is now at -2. Throat Chop, not very effective on the fighting type. Earth Power is super effective on the electric type. Sinister comes back out. Here's the Rage Powder. Throat Chop, not enough, thanks to the -2. Flash Cannon finishes the job. Just the bull versus the world. Close combat. Yeah. Takes out that Roaring Moon, but drops its defenses. Zapdos probably going to finish this off. Protect. Likely seeing out the last turn of Tailwind. Zapdos has locked into Brave Bird. Earth Power for Heatran. There's the Tailwind going. Brave Bird probably going to pick it up though. Yes, it does. We're going to game 3 in this fascinating battle. Here it is, game 3 in one of the most exciting matches of the season. Zapdos and Heatran. Iron Thorns and Monkey Dory. Brisk, not as valuable in game 3 as it is in game 1. You can already pretty much guess the items almost by this point. Zapdos switches out immediately. In comes the Roaring Moon. Terra turn 1 from Weems. Into the Iron Thorns. Terra Electric. Interesting choice when you have a Heatran on the field. Taunt. Oh, the read. High horsepower. Wow. One shot. Goodbye, Heatran. What a first turn from Weems. Zapdos comes right back out. How is Otter going to come back from this? Close combat. That's about takes Brian to under half. Throat Chop doesn't do enough though. Psychic deletes the bird. Stone Edge connects this time. Crit doesn't quite finish off Roaring Mid. Mamo hits the field. Protect on Thorns. Throat Chop into the Protect. Monkey Dory, Psychic. Respectable damage. Trailblaze resisted by the monkey, but boosts the speed. Taunt ends on Roaring Moon. This is tense. Terror from the Dirge. Mamoswine becomes a water type. Throat Chop takes out the Monkey Dory with a crit. I'm not entirely sure that mattered, to be honest, but Another Trailblaze. We have a +2 Mamo. High horsepower. Oh, that's still a lot of damage, even though it's resisted. But now, here comes the Teacup. Thorns protects. Throat Chop. Again going into that Iron Thorns. Trying to finish it off. Icicle Crash into Sinister. Not enough. And Brick Room goes up. Ice Shard finishes off Thorns. Finisher matches the gotchas. Double connect, double KO. That will do it for this one. Incredible play from Wheeze. Such a close first two games. That third one was just lights out. Who can stop him? Who can stop this squad? Unfortunately, that is all we have time for this week. Week 7 has already been played, so throwing in a preview seems a little bit redundant. The Woobats Week 7 match will follow as soon as possible, chased down by that Week 7 review. We'll see you all for those very soon. Goodbye, YouTube.